Hi guys, Steph here. Right, I'm not going to keep you people in suspense any longer. Yesterday, you would have seen my pen haul video and you would have seen this box here. There you go. I showed it to you very briefly, kept you in suspense. And here's that box again. And I asked you the question, what could be inside? What is inside? Do you want to see? Okay. Look at that. It's the Elf fountain pen. To the bottom it says fitted, I think, with a 14 karat gold nib. And then to the very top there, it's got the number 220. On the side, it says broad. So what we've got for you is the Elf fountain pen. Yes, in a little box like this. Let's open the box. There's the pen itself. Let's pop the box to one side. Now, before I show you the pen, it does actually come with the original instructions, which I've already opened up for you because they are very flimsy. And obviously, I think this pen is, well, it's an antique pen. So, but there's the instructions. It tells you how to fill the pen. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me anywhere there where it was made, etc. The only hint, just somewhere around here, if you can read it, it refers to the ink that it recommends. And it says it recommends British stylographic ink for this pen. And even somewhere just to the left, it gives you the price per bottle of that specific ink. So the fact that it's recommended a British stylographic ink, I would say we can sort of say that the pen is made in Britain. Is it? I don't know. Now, to be quite honest with you, as I said, I've looked around, tried to do a bit of homework. Unfortunately, I cannot find anything about this pen. So in this particular case, you viewers out there, I would like your help. Let's find out who made this pen. Okay, so I'd like you people out there to, if you know anything about this particular pen, leave a comment below and let's, well, we all like to learn something new every day, and it would help if we knew a little bit more about this pen. As you can see, it comes in black hard rubber, and there's the barrel imprint. Okay, it says the Elf fountain pen. If I turn it round, you can even see it's got this lovely engine turned pattern on it as well. Okay, and the pattern is on the barrel only. You can see the cap itself is a plain cap. It's got this knurling towards the top of the cap there, and also this sort of knurled band towards the bottom of the barrel, as you can see there. The size of this pen capped is 69 millimeters. Around the barrel, it's a nice 11 millimeters in diameter, so it's a small but a nice chunky pen. Now, I know there was numerous small pens being made around this period. Now, because of the feed on this, I'm dating the pen early 1900s, maybe around 1920s, 1930s. Again, I may be wrong, but because it's got this particular feed, which we'll show in a moment, I'm dating it sort of around about 1920s. Now, I believe there was also a small pen called the Peter Pan, made by the Salts Brothers Pen Company. I believe Parker themselves also made a jackknife model, and they called that the Baby. And, well, the king of the small pens has to be the Waterman safety pen, and that was also, as in this particular case, an eyedropper fountain pen. Now, the Waterman safety pen or eyedropper was from 1910. I believe that particular model is actually, well, it actually appears in Queen Mary's doll's house. Okay, so yeah, it appears in a doll's house from royalty, and I believe the I think the doll pen. I think I read somewhere it's around about 39 millimeters in length. So yeah, another 30, maybe 30 millimeters less than this particular pen, which, blimey, that is small. But this one, it's the smallest pen that I've ever handled, and it's a very, although it's small, it's a very interesting pen. And that's why, again, I'm asking you people out there, anybody, if you know anything about this pen, the model, who made it, all information would be very much appreciated. We need to learn a little bit more about these pens. Now, let's take the cap off. You can see the cap also has, I think in this particular case, it's got 4 breather holes, as you can see there, 2 at the top and 2 sort of in the middle. It's a slip cap, there we go, which pulls off like so. And I was going to say, let's show you the pen in numerous different angles, but with my large chunky hands, it's a little bit difficult. So let's pop the cap down there for the time being. Let's sort of have a look at the section. You can see the section sort of steps down to a slightly concave area, and then if you look at the nib there, you can see it's got what we term as a over and under feed. So there's underneath there, and you can see it's got this piece above the nib there as well. Okay, so it's what we term as an over and under feed, which again, that's the reason I'm dating it round the early 1900s. The nib itself actually the imprint just simply reads 14 carat, and then because the overfeed there is hiding it, it's actually got it's got a star underneath the 14 carat. So again, does that tell us who made the pen? As I say, it's just got simply 14 carat and then an imprint of a star. Okay, so does that give us a clue? Can anybody tell us? Is that anything to do with the manufacturer? As we said, this one, if we undo the feed, okay, and there's the barrel, and it's what we term as an eyedropper pen. Now, another thing we'll look into, look at the feed there. Okay, it's got this quite a long feed there. Then underneath, you can see it's got this sort of, right, you know, like piece of, is it black hard rubber, this piece of plastic? That I've seen before, but a lot of the sort of older, maybe Todd pens had what we term as a silver wire. And I think this piece of hard rubber here, this sort of wriggly piece underneath here, is also for the same reason. It helps to sort of wick and regulate the ink flow. Okay, the reason, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to test the pen, but if you look down there, you can see there's quite a gap down the section there. Okay, with a lot of pens, the feed itself sort of plugs that gap, and you've got a, you know, a feeder channel. But this one, with it having this sort of, you can see the light down there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually put some ink in the pen, and let's test it. Now, whether it's going to work or not, I don't know, because I'm a little bit worried about the, oops-a-daisy, need to stop doing that. Let me, right, what I'm going to do, I've got a syringe to my right here, and I'm going to, I think that's enough. I've got plenty of tissue to my left. So to fill these pens, what we would have used was an eyedropper or a pipette, or in this case I'm going to use a syringe, and I'm going to simply, I'm trying to look over the camera, because on the instructions it does talk about leaving maybe 1/2 inch from the top. So I don't know if that's enough. I've already got ink on my fingers, so there's a good start. So let's try that. I don't know how much ink I've got in there. Maybe I could do with, well, let's try it. Let's do a little bit more. Let's fill the syringe up a bit more. I'm trying to see if there's ink going into the syringe. It looks like it, but yeah, there we go. We've got some going in there, I think. Right, I can see it there now. So let's pop that to one side. I'm getting ink absolutely everywhere. So let's pop the feed back on. And what I've done, I've applied a little bit of silicone grease around the thread just to seal it a little bit. Now let's bring on some paper. I'm knocking everything as I'm doing this, and it does actually say on the instructions just to give it a little bit, there we go, a little bit of a blob. Whether that's going to work or not, I don't know. This is the first time I've tried it. You can see it's difficult to hold. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. So what we've got is, we've got a pen that doesn't write. Let's try that. So in some cases it has to sort of wick down, so whether it is doing or not, I don't know, but let's just give it one more time. Go. Would have been nice if it worked actually, but yeah, here we go. So we've got the elf fountain pen. Again, I'm dating it sort of 1920s. You'll have to excuse the writing. It's difficult for me to hold this pen. But it's writing sort of quite nicely. Just got a little bit of a scratch to it. Okay. So it's a small pen. It's an eyedropper pen as well. So as you can see there, we're now sort of going along, and it's writing nicely, and not a blob inside. So it does actually say on the instructions that, and I know through sort of experience some of these are a little bit temperamental, but there we have it. It's writing with a fine line, It's holding the ink very nicely, which surprises me. There's no blobbing at all. So there's a writing sample. So it's actually in full working order. We'll empty it and clean it after the video. It does also tell you to keep the pen in an upward position when you're traveling with it, but give you, there we go, there's a comparison with a Parker 51. So you can see it's a tiny, tiny pen. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen as much as I enjoy showing them to you. Don't forget, leave a comment. Let's find out who made this pen. Okay, we all want to know. It'd be very interesting to find out as well. So if you know anything about the Elf fountain pen, the number 220, please let us know in a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Look at that, ink everywhere, but that's one of the fun part of these eyedropper pens. But for now, I'm going to say Slavo Ukraini from me and this lovely pen. Bye bye for now.